Welcome back to Cards and Comics, guys. Today I have a massive, huge update to my 90s collection. Huge mail day. Some of these cards came in before the National. Been holding on to them, waiting for a few cards to pass eBay's authentication to show them off all at one time. And this is just a doubling down, a commitment that I'm making to the 90s cards in my collection. I talk about it in another video where how I'm going to try to fund a lot of my collection, from the 90s that I need. As cards get a little more scarce, a little more pricey, I got to have a little bit of a strategy in how I'm going to pick cards up. But then in general, the cards I'm showing today, for the most part, aren't the super duper expensive ones. In some cases, these cards are still pretty affordable. And that's what I love about the 90s. You have cards that are really affordable to cards that are super high end and expensive now. So without further ado, first card up here, 99 SP Signature Adrian Beltre. Probably one of the best design autograph sets. Definitely one of the best checklist that's ever existed. It's one of the few sets that have both Griffey and Thomas as an autograph in the 90s. So that's really cool. Beltre is a Hall of Famer. I have thought about putting this entire autograph set together. Can't wait to purchase a box of this and open it. I know that's something I need to do for my box break challenge I'm working on, opening every box for the 90s. This is a great product. It is a amazing checklist, along with the UD Legends autograph set. It really upped the ante for what autograph sets could be. The one per pack type of insert auto just really made the autograph maturity as an insert in the hobby and as a mainstay become part of the lexicon of the hobby now. Having this kind of a set where it's great design, on-card autos, one per pack, just amazing to see the set still be very popular. The Griffey still sells really well. So another cool autograph to add to my 99 SP Signature set. Next up is a set I'm actually collecting, an insert set. Here is Mr. Greg Vaughn from 99 Topps Top Stars and Steel holographic domed gold. Again, one of the cooler inserts ever designed. Tons of technology going on in this card. Refractors. There's resin. There's metal. It's a two-sided refractor. Just a lot of cool stuff. A set that's never been really duplicated or brought back, so it's kind of a one of a kind. I love the set. There's only 44 cards in the set, so I'm putting it together. I'm like, I think I'm over 20 cards now, so getting close to halfway there. So Greg Vaughn. Next up is just a cool refractor I picked up in someone's box. 95 Bowman's Best. Randy Johnson. Not double-sided, so not as exciting, but still a cool early refractor, third year refractor. Next up is a card I just made a deal for on eBay. 99 Bowman's Best, Ivan Rodriguez atomic refractor. So you can see that kind of unique refractor pattern. Again, these are numbered out of 100. This is 94 out of 100. Love the set. I've talked about the set quite a bit on my channel about how I love it. My favorite sets, maybe the favorite set I have of the 90s, just from a nostalgia perspective. I love Pudge. I have a mini PC of him, and so it was great to pick up the Ivan from the set. Next up, probably one of the coolest insert sets ever made in the 90s. And I have what I think to be the coolest coming up soon. This is definitely one of them. This is Cut Above. I believe this is 97. But, the double die cut, it's Juan Gonzalez, but he was an MVP. Stole it from Griffey, but, still an MVP. Had a great career. So there you go. We've got the Juan Gone Cut Above. Love the set, love the design. This is an insert set I eventually put the whole set together because I love it so much. And just like Lynch pins and a few other insert sets from the 90s, we'll definitely put it together at some point. Next up is a set I talked a little bit about recently, the 97 Leaf Limited. exposures, and this is the counterparts exposure Hideo Nomo with Charles Nagy on the back. So counterparts, remember, there's a rookie, and then there's this version where you have kind of like two players that play the same position from different teams. It's I think the most common version of this card, the exposure, the limited exposure, which is like their version of refractor. So cool. I like the Hideo Nomo, and this is a set that doesn't get a lot of attention, and it's really awesome. Next is some cards all from the same set I'm putting together. So this is the 95 Pinnacle White Hot set. Remember, there's a Red Hot and a White Hot. The White Hot uses Dufects, so you can see that blue Dufect. So I picked up all these cards from a seller to go towards my set I'm building. So I got Greg Maddux, Albert Bell, Carlos Baerga, Cal Ripken, which is awesome, and Raw Mondesi. So you can see how cool that design is. Really brilliant early insert too, because 95 is still the infancy of inserts. Next up is a few insert sets, some artist proof. So here's a Wade Boggs Pinnacle artist proof. I believe that is 97. There you go. Next up is a 95 Select. This is a mirror gold. So the first mirror gold set ever made. There you go. Not as rare as later sets like 96, but still a cool design, well executed. And Greg Maddux, and he will make a lot of appearances this week. Greg Maddux. Next up is two 97 Pinnacle, new Pinnacle artist proofs, both red, which is really awesome. So we got Eddie Murray and Matt Lawton. Just love that whole set. This is a set I'm slowly building over time. Slowly building. You'll see me. And Eddie Murray's cool. Next up is two cards from a box I busted before I moved here. And I found the entire box. And it was the... trying to think. This is 98, I believe. No, it's 99. So this is 99 Topps Tech. And if you open a whole box, you get two golds. The golds are number 10. And the two golds I picked up were pretty awesome. I picked up a Kerry Wood and Ivan Rodriguez. And again, these are numbered to 10. So there it is. This is 10 of 10. 2 of 10. But so the way this worked was you had a player, I forget how many patterns they had. Every pattern, which could be 10 or 15 patterns per player, had a gold version of each of those patterns. So for example, if there's, let's call 10 different patterns for Ivan Rodriguez, there's 10 gold cards, all numbered to 10. So it's still pretty cool. They're not overly expensive, but sometimes you'll see the Jeter or a Griffey sell pretty good. But they look really nice, very striking compared to the base. All right, next up is cards that I've talked about a little bit on my channel. I just picked up the Griffey version of this card. They're numbered out of 100. This is the Ultimate Victory 100 parallel. Doesn't really have a cool name. That's what just people, or Wave parallel. Here's the Helton and the new holder that I've been working with. Did a review of this on my channel, so check it out. But again, just love this design. I love that type of pattern. Next up is John Smoltz. Again, you can really see the pattern with that Smoltz. A little different color background. And then for me as a pirate collector, have to get a Jason Kendall. So there's and these are all numbered out of 100. There's the Kendall. Next up is Wade Boggs. This is awesome. And you know, all these are pretty cheap. I mean, comparatively to most cards numbered out of 100 from the 90s. We're not done yet. Frank Thomas. Look at that. So now I have the Griffey and the Thomas. So I got to get that Jeter. This card is awesome. Love the image. And I think he's signing a baseball, which is interesting because he's notoriously not an easy signer. But there you go. Numbered out of 100. And then last one, at least I mentioned, you're going to see a lot of this guy. There's Mr. Maddox. And this is an 8. So whether or not we chase him, into grading, getting this card graded, will be, remains to be seen. I've got 15 cards of PSA right now, all pretty much 90s cards. So we'll see where they come back. I don't like having more than one order there at a time. I'm just risk adverse. And also sometimes I trade or sell some cards. And again, if I have every one of my cool cards, all tied up at PSA, we need to be graded, even though they're raw. And sometimes they're still worth enough that I can, trade or get other cards. And I did have some other pickups that I wanted to show from the Albany show as well, that I'll grab after we get through this part. Just to show you, I traded for those cards. So, I do still trade. Next up, going into 97 Finest, 97 Finest, both embossed refractors. The silver and the gold are probably the best design refractors ever made. So here is the Dean Palmer silver. I'm working on getting some baseball golds. I have a football gold, but here is a silver. You see the two-sided refractors. And I just picked up, again, we talked about Maddox making an appearance, the Maddox. And it's just so cool. I mean, it's just an awesome design. Just awesome. I just love how it makes his number shine. It's just those little details make the card look so cool. And then obviously you get the back. You can see the embossing too of the player. So it's just a lot of little things that make this card awesome. It's the little things that today Topps, Fanatics, whoever you want to say is in charge, won't do, right? They keep thinking that, oh, well, if you just take the design, the Masters or whatever, like this design, and then just do it with a poorly executed refractor pattern, or don't do the embossing or whatever, don't do the die cuts for the golds, people will be okay with it, and they're not. They're not the same, and if they were to do it just like they did in the 90s, you would have a huge reception for that. People will probably pay a little bit more, I don't know how much more, but probably more, to have the faithful reproductions into modern cards. So you'd have a Mike Trout on a card like this. People would dig that a lot. I'm just saying, but they won't do it. They've already kind of stated that it's too expensive and takes too much time. So it's kind of sad. Just like we don't see Dufex anymore. We don't see really those high etched refractors like we used to. Next up, again, New Pinnacle Artist Proof. Here's the Nomar. I'm a slow burning, putting this set together. I saw a Nomar, and it's the blue. I just love it. Such a cool set. All right. Now, the last cards here, the last 3 cards, before I showcase my Albany pickups, these are, pretty crazy. Not player selection-wise, they're not Griffeys, but the sets that they come out of are some of the coolest sets ever made. First up is 97 Pinnacle Totally Certified, the Platinum Gold. I showed a Jeter in my last Griffey Jeter Thomas video, and this is Andrew Jones, who's most likely going to make the Hall of Fame at some point. He's got a lot of pushing right now. So here's the Jones. Again, I've got the Jeter right here, so I've got both a Jeter, just to kind of give comparison. This is not the base version of this card. This is like the subset, which makes it a little less valuable, but everyone I talk to anyway likes this version of the card better than the base card from a design perspective. So I think it looks great. Again, this is serial numbered. You got to watch that, guys. Serial numbering. Sometimes it's either faked or it's not existing. It's a card that was probably not supposed to be released, and it was. So just be wary. You can see the pattern, the ring pattern. It's so cool. All right, next up is a card from a set I've never owned before. Never owned. I think I opened one box of it and didn't pull a card from the set. This is a really cool set when I saw it in hand. This is 1999. Upper Deck Ionics. This is the holographics. And here is the Mike Piazza. So the 99 Ionic set, the reciprocals, this set, there's autographs. This set's really loaded, really nice set. So it's one of those products where if you can get a box fairly cheap, like sometimes I think under $200, it's a great rep. And you get cards like this sometimes. It's a rare card, but it's still awesome. And there's a back, but it's just a beautiful card. Really, really enjoyed picking up this. And again, first time I ever had one of these. And, I think it's great. In the 90s, you can pick up like cards from sets like that and just have one card from that set and do kind of like a type set. That could be a new way to think about collecting 90s is you have like, one card from every major set or insert set, but it doesn't have to be Griffey. It's like I have one player from every one of those sets. So here's last but not least. And again, you could disagree with the order, like, best for last, whatever, but this is the 1999 Flair Mystique established Greg Maddux. So pretty epic. I love this set. I do think it's the only refractor set, even though the Leaf Limited products are nice. And to some people, they think they're nicer than other refractors. Okay. This really was a true refractor kind of ripoff from another brand. And they nailed it, man. That background color. And then when you flip it over, it's even more, just that depth of rainbow refractiveness. Just beautiful. And it's Greg Maddux. Again, Maddux is kind of the star of the show this time around. And his cards are fairly cheap for how good he was. So love the Maddux. Love the established set. I believe this is established number 3 or 4. I know I've got, I think, the Piazza, the Frank Thomas. Now I've got this card. So it may just be the third one I picked up, but love the set and keep trying to pick it more and more as it goes on. And then last but not least is going to be cards I picked up at the Albany Card Show. I sold some cards, picked these up. First up was a card I was actually given by my friend Raul. The Seasons Crown, Acetate, Ultra, Frank Thomas. It's not super rare, but it's just a cool card. I appreciate he gave it to me. He knows I collect Frank Thomas. The first card I picked up that I actually paid for was the Lynchpins Greg Maddux. So I mentioned that I'm putting this set together, so great to have the Lynchpins. Maddux, there's a price point. It's roughly what, sometimes they're on eBay for it. It's just, it was part of a deal I was working with him on, so it's still awesome. I picked up this card. Love this set, man. Just such a cool set. I'm really excited now that this set is taking off a little bit. Like in the football set, the Barry Sanders is really taking off. Got a lot more expensive. Just like the cut aboves have taken off for the really tough players or the really popular players. Maddux is still very mid-tier, so it's not the most expensive, but just awesome. And I love picking up, again, more Maddux cards. It's very Maddux heavy. And then last but not least, a card that I really excited to pick up because it's a set that doesn't get a lot of publicity in the modern, the 90s pantheon. It's just weird for me that these cards aren't more popular, especially if you look at players like Griffey and Jeter and Thomas. It feels like that they would be worth a lot more when they come up for auction compared to other sets, but they're not. Seeing Bowman Chrome Gold. I think it's just because the gold is only in that name, and it's even hard to see on camera how it's gold. But when you flip it over, you will see that they are numbered out of 25. So this is a Larry Walker numbered out of 25. So I picked it up, and I thought it was awesome. I pick up, anything like this, low numbered. It's fun. There's player collectors out there who probably need this card. Rocky collectors, Hall of Fame collectors, Bowman Chrome Gold collectors who need this card. So it's a card that I'm pretty confident I can trade and sell at some point. And if not, I'll just keep it because it's such a cool card. But yeah, I'm sure this is probably on someone's want list who's a big Larry Walker, Colorado fan, or just loves the set. So I have it. So if someone wants to make me a cool offer, a cool deal for this card, I've got it. I'm willing to trade. Always looking for more Griffeys and Thomases for my PC. But this card's awesome. If I can't sell it or trade it, I'll just keep it because it's so cool. So that's it, guys. That's my 90s update. A lot of cards, a lot of different sets. You can kind of see my direction I'm going in. Hopefully you like it. Hope you enjoy it. And let me know what your favorite card was. I'll see you next time on Cards and Comics. Bye.
Does it hurt?